So this is called Moringa, the miracle tree, the seeds. Okay, they found. I tested this, so I'm going to give you one. So what you would do is take a grinder. Grinders are usually will be $10 for metal, and plastic ones like I get wholesale for like $3-4. But you can just use like a pounding, like how you do medicine. So you crush it, and you will use the vaporizer, and you will vape it, and do it without the cannabis part. I found when we tested people with high blood pressure, the blood pressure normalized. And if you are having low blood pressure, how you are having, you will normalize because it resets your adrenals. Because the body intuitively knew how to use it. And when I did my extraction, because I went and I tested with the lab guy was saying, and I'm going to stop this, but the noise doesn't come in. So that the lab guy was saying, I was only planning to test for terpenes because I thought it was the oils that because they used to purify the water in India. And so I thought maybe it's the oils in it that is causing that effect. So we tested. So he asked me, do you want to test it for cannabinoids? It never occurred to me to even think of it that way. So I said, you know what? Have you ever tested anything that doesn't it's not a cannabis plant to have cannabinoids? He said no. So I said, in that case, test it. So testing cost me $100. So when I tested for terpene, it had terpinolene, which is from tea tree oil. So that's the thing. And the oils, when we pressed it and used, it worked as a fixed oil. So you can imagine it works as a fixed oil. It has a melting point of 250 degrees. So it can be used as a mixing agent, like oil to oil extraction if you're doing. Plus, it has terpene, so it has aromatic compound. And plus, when you crush it, the vape emitted cannabinoids, and the cannabinoids at a certain point worked as antifungal, antimicrobial, and it normalized the endocannabinoid receptors, and it actually performed better than regular cannabis itself. And when I extracted, so the cannabinoid part, I was able to the max extraction, when I did right temperature and stuff. That is what took me longer because I studied homeopathy afterwards. And the homeopathy, you need to do succussion first. You need to shake, you need to not overheat, like how they do cold press and stuff. So when I did that, and then did the glycerin extraction of this herb, the max I was able to get was 0.91 milligram, 0.91 milligram. And that was when we tested, initially was around, if we do percentage, how you say, everything was THC, but the THCA was around, let's say 40%. On the, not 40, because this one was smaller. So let's say maybe 70% and 30%. The 70-30 mix. The THCV was 30%. THCV is a weight loss compound. THCA is the anti-tumor, apoptosis. It prevents, it actually creates apoptosis on bad cells, mutated cells. So the blood pressure dropped 20 points. That is difficult to achieve with medicine. It takes almost a month.
Right.
Okay. And so the other advantage I noticed was the effects, the calming and anti-anxiety effects were an instant. And then 0.91 milligrams. So I tested on a patient who had cancer. We measured his CRP levels. His CRP levels was 2.92 or something. So we gave 0.91 milligram as a capsule, the extraction part of this, because it had a bitter taste. So he didn't like it. So we put it in a capsule. We gave it to him for 3 weeks. His CRP dropped from 2.92 to 1.21. Okay, 50% drop. So then afterwards, we decided, okay, we'll switch it to Critical Cure, which is from Australia, and it's just a trimming. We did only the trimming because trimming is not considered, according to the Cannabis Commission, like a flower, so I was able with homeopathy to extract, and the trimming had like a higher 1.90 milligram or something, right? So triple, would you call it triple, like 91 versus 1.9, like almost like double, right?
Yeah.
So you would think the effect would be higher, right? So I measured his CRP after 3 weeks of him taking that one. His CRP only stayed at 1.21, didn't even move. So then I again put him on this Moringa 0.91, and I have actually all these studies, So he drops to 0.11 CRP. So the CRP, the inflammatory marker, came down drastically with Moringa, but it only maintained stability with cannabis. So you could see. So the one thing I learned from that is add Moringa as a fixed oil. When I do the extraction to cannabis, it potentiates the effect of anti-inflammatory action, but at the same time creates the mental health benefit. So physical health, I like Moringa. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, like that this is the cannabis is not really going to help any of the inflammation. It's only going to kind of give you the feeling that it makes you not feel it, but it's not actually doing anything to make it go away.
See, the other way to see it is like, because cannabis is a mimicker, right? So it disconnects the nerves from feeling what you're feeling. Right. So you said you couldn't open your eye. You had a smile that you couldn't control. When you add this, you'll be able to alter it. So what I would like you to do as an experiment with me is do this in addition to what that made you feel heavy. See, like, do like and this you need only to add 20%. So it's like, like a little pinch, that's all you need, because it's homeopathic component. So see, and you can even, the flag on top, like it has you can even take it out, that flags. You can just grind the wing is for it to fly and land, so that it's like the nature way. So you can just grind a little bit and add that to your compound. See whether that heaviness in your eyes and smile improve. Just as I'm just trying to tweak it and see whether I can suggest it to other people. And since you're in healthcare, for me it'll be easier for me to test with you, because you will give me the words I'm looking for. Like some people describe it differently. And I wouldn't have no idea what the heck they are talking about. And they would have no idea what I'm we all have a disconnect when we talk to each other. So that would be very helpful.
Yeah, because I can do that. Because like I said, I'm going to get some from
I will stop this.
Girl, and I think that some of it I'm going